I don't know what else to say other than damn, it's been a crazy week. As you know, FTX collapsed and Sam Bankman-Fried is possibly even on the run. There was mass confusion over whether he fled to Argentina or if he was going to be able to escape to Dubai, and apparently now the Bahamian authorities have him under investigation, and it looks like he's under house arrest, so he might not be getting away. However, this has led to speculation that there is possibly a contagion that's going to be happening, continuing to send crypto exchanges to hell. One of these crypto exchanges seems to be Crypto.com, and a lot of people are thinking that they might be collapsing, but the CEO came out last night, in the middle of the night really, to do this AMA, and he kind of dispelled a lot of these concerns and made it seem like Crypto.com might actually be able to pull through after all. Most of the fear came from reports, as this article by Cointelegraph says, that Crypto.com accidentally sent 320,000 ETH to Gate.io, only to recover the funds just a few days after. Kris said the ETH transfers that generated so much FUD and speculation on Twitter were made over 3 weeks ago on October 21st. To Crypto.com's whitelisted corporate account at Gate.io. But if you dig a little bit deeper into this situation, as this tweet by Shijin says, Crypto.com accidentally sent the 320,000 ETH of user deposits to Gate.io on October 21st, and then on October 28th, Gate showed their proof of reserves and then sent 285,000 Ethereum back to Crypto.com. This does seem pretty sketchy, since they seemingly accidentally sent all of this crypto over to Gate.io just in time for them to be able to prove their reserves, and now Gate.io sent it back and Crypto.com is going to be doing their proof of reserves. To me, this does seem a little bit fishy, and it does seem like they're kind of sharing users' funds to make sure that people think they have reserves backed up. But if they don't actually, and they are really sharing funds, then eventually, if there is a bank run like we started to see yesterday, then one of these companies could definitely collapse, and if one of them goes down, then the other might as well. Also, that doesn't even include what possible exposure other companies might have to both FTX and Crypto.com, and with both of them going down, that could definitely put significant downward pressure on all kinds of projects, leading them to collapse as well. CZ from Binance says that if an exchange had to move large amounts of crypto before or after they demonstrate their wallet addresses, it's a clear sign of problems. Stay away, stay safe. And I definitely agree, but I don't think that we necessarily need to trust CZ, because while it does seem like they aren't having any problems right now, he could definitely be trying to push all of the attention away from Binance. And right now, CZ does seem like the hero of the situation, but back a few months ago, whenever Luna collapsed, Sam Bankman-Fried was definitely looking like a hero in those days. But we see what happened since then. I'm not saying that CZ is shady or that I know anything about Binance being insolvent or anything like that. I'm just saying that we shouldn't necessarily take these people at their word, and we should definitely practice self-custody, because if it's not your keys, then it's not your crypto. And while that is a corny saying and everybody's heard it before, it's really easy to remember, and it is something that people repeat for a reason. Kris also came out and said that while proof of reserve audit preparation is underway, we are sharing some of our cold wallet addresses for some of the top assets in our platform. This represents a good portion of our reserves, and all of these assets should have a total of about $3 billion. After that, he shared this link right here that takes you over to this website where most of their addresses are put together, showing their net worth being about $2.5 billion as compared to the $3 billion that he said just a couple days ago. This means that there is definitely a big withdrawal issue going on, and there's a lot of people trying to remove their funds from Crypto.com, thinking that they are going to be collapsing here in the next couple of days. And as you can see, looking at the major wallets on that platform, all of these are mostly outs. Especially if you look at these other wallets, you really don't see any ins. It's just all outs as people are starting to panic. However, when I looked at this earlier, it did get down to $2.3 billion, and it looks like it's starting to tick up a little bit, so maybe they are starting to see those withdrawals slow down a bit. Either way, the past week or so has been really rough for all of crypto, and definitely Crypto.com looks to be hemorrhaging money. Not to mention all of the money that they spent over the past bull market, like the Staples Center becoming Crypto.com Arena and this reported $700 million naming rights deal, according to ESPN. And Crypto.com was doing that big campaign with Matt Damon, which was apparently worth about $100 million, according to CoinDesk. This definitely does strike a resemblance to FTX, since they bought the Miami Heat Stadium, And it looks like they both kind of spent a little bit too much money, and hopefully this doesn't bankrupt Crypto.com as well. But according to Kris in that AMA, he said that they didn't really just put all of this money down at one time. It's actually going to be over the next 20 years, and hopefully they are going to be able to have the money to pay all of these payments over the next 20 years. The advertising campaign with Matt Damon probably was more of an upfront cost, but I do believe that the Staples Center is going to probably be a payment deal that they're going to have a long time to pay off. There was other speculation that possibly they were in trouble because 20% of their reserves are actually in Shiba Inu. But if that's really what 20% of people buy on their platform, then I guess they need to have 20% of their assets be Shiba Inu just to back up what customers bought. And while I wouldn't want 20% of my assets to be in Shiba Inu, I think it makes sense if that's what people bought on the platform. I'm not going to lie, I kind of thought that they were going to be collapsing yesterday, and I'm surprised they made it through the night. With the CEO coming out and downplaying these contagion fears, it looks like the fear is kind of starting to die down a little bit. But FTX kind of put out the same statement with Sam Bankman-Fried saying that all of the assets were backed up just a day or two before FTX ultimately collapsed. Also, many scammers and big companies that have collapsed in the crypto space in the past have used this strategy before, and just because these CEOs say that they have all of their assets backed up doesn't really make it so. And like I said before, definitely self-custody is the way, because if it's not your keys, then it really is not your crypto. Hopefully Crypto.com isn't actually going to collapse, but as you can see looking over here at their status page, they definitely have paused a few withdrawals and deposits on different projects, including Gala, Serum, and Radium. Hopefully they will reinstate these, and then if they do, I think that's going to be a sure sign that hopefully they are keeping their word and they're actually just pausing these to protect users from losing all of their funds. But this doesn't really instill confidence in me, and I do believe that until I do see these pauses being removed, then I'm not going to have too much confidence that Crypto.com isn't just like all the other exchanges that started pausing withdrawals and stuff right before they collapsed, and also even said that they were all good right before they collapsed. For this reason, I did move all of my crypto off of Crypto.com and all of the other exchanges or centralized exchanges that I had them on before. I do keep all of my crypto on a cold storage wallet, and during the bull market, it doesn't really seem like they're that important, but in times like these, you can really see where they come in handy. Hopefully, all of this Crypto.com stuff is really just blown out of proportion, because I think that FTX was mostly self-contained, mostly just because all of their assets were mostly in FTT tokens, so they just lost all of that value. And unless other big exchanges were holding most of their money in FTT token, then hopefully they won't be affected as much by this and they won't be collapsing as well. Kris did say that they haven't used any user funds for any kind of leverage or anything like that, which definitely, just because you said that, it doesn't make it true. But if it is true, then maybe they'll make it through this. And then if they do, then they will have probably proved that they aren't as fragile as a lot of these other centralized exchanges, and they might even make a really astounding comeback. I do think that there are still some trying times ahead, but as long as these cryptocurrency projects make it through this situation, I think they will have proven themselves significantly, and we will have finally probably reached final capitulation and can start to build a solid floor before we ultimately head back to the upside. Cryptocurrency is definitely not dead, and it will be coming back one day. So for that reason, I'm just going to continue to accumulate and dollar cost average, because no one knows what the future is going to hold. Let me know in the comments. Do you think we've actually hit the bottom, or do you think we have another leg down to go? Either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.